Hi, this is D virus, if you want to call me, whatever. With a message out there to people that hate on DJs using controllers, or Tractor, or Serato, or Mixmeister, or a virtual DJ, or any of the programs that are used to DJ. Now, I have been into the scene pretty much for 10, 12 years now, probably more than that. And I've grown up watching people spin records on vinyl. And then I saw people spinning records using CDJs. And I did not get into the art of DJing until I saw controllers. And the reason being is I'm not spending $8,000, $9,000 to play the music I like. It doesn't make sense to me, especially during a recession. The problem I have is going on the internet and seeing person after person after person, and on the forums, just the DJ forums, they just trash all these people using Serato Scratch Live or Tractor or using a controller because they have a sync button on them. I personally do not use sync buttons, and I don't know a DJ that uses a controller that does use sync buttons. Now granted, when I first picked up a controller and knew nothing about DJing, yeah, the sync button came in handy. But I don't use sync buttons because I learned how to DJ. I learned how to use my tempo faders to control the tempo, to beat match by ear, and also use the cues that I get within my software. But if you're using DVS support, you're getting the same cues. You're using the same software to do the same thing. You're no different than a person using a controller. Granted, you spent a lot more money on your gear, but it doesn't make you a better DJ. To me, being a good DJ is, first of all, loving the music you play. Secondly, it's enjoying the act of playing it. No matter what medium you use, whether it be CDJs, vinyl, or controller, that is one of the most important things in DJing. Granted, anybody can start DJing if they have enough money. Now, the controller part comes with people that don't have all that money. They may have families. They may have a limited budget because they're young. Now, I don't hate on those people, and I see that all the time. Oh, I got a new Mark mix track. Oh, well, screw you. That's a piece of shit. I hear that all the time. You know what? No, it's not. It's something for somebody that wants to get into DJing to learn the basics and follow that dream. And to me, it's like getting a Fender Squier guitar. I own one. It was my first electric guitar. Now, granted, it's not the best, but it plays. And I learned how to play using that guitar. Now, if someone would have pointed at me on stage and said, oh, he's using a Fender Squier, he's not a real musician, I think I would have taken that to heart. Truth is, you're playing other people's music. Now, if you're playing your own, I'm guessing you are using a controller. Because most people that are writing their own music, especially electronic music, are not pressing their own vinyl. So, and I write my own electronic music. I write my own music using guitars and that medium as well. But I don't spin my own tracks. I have, and it just doesn't mix well with house, tech house, that type of deal. So, I understand that, you know, it's not always easy to throw your own tracks in. But if you are using your own tracks, you're definitely using a controller or some type of MIDI device. And sometimes you're using that bridge from Serato to Ableton or Tractor Ableton bridge. And that's really tough, you know? Like, those people that have grown up using CDJs or vinyl are saying, what the hell, this is not DJing. I learned DJing. I learned how to beat match by ear using my vinyl turntables and my mixer. And granted, you've spent a lot more money than I have. And that does not make you a better DJ. I'm sorry. It doesn't. You could have the best gear in the planet. And I have seen it. DJs having insane amount of gear and can't frickin' DJ. They can't. Not for the life of them. Now granted, I am a newbie at DJing, but I will do it until the day I die, because I love it. I love the art of spinning music or playing tunes using a controller, using CDJs, using vinyl. Granted, I love the crackle of vinyl. I grew up with that. But I ain't spending $1,000 per unit. There's no way. We're in a recession right now. I'm trying to make the best of what I can afford. I'm using a VMS4 by American Audio. I've got some nano controllers from Korg. I've got a MPD 26, or one of those things by Akai. You got a bunch of MIDI controllers, but I really, spend most of my time with the VMS4, and it's for the price. It's a great controller. I never hit the sync button, so all the people that are hating on MIDI DJs for having controllers and using sync buttons, I'm sorry, but not all of these MIDI DJs are using sync buttons. I use my faders, thanks. And I do the same thing that you're doing with your CDJs and your vinyl. Granted, I ain't spending the kind of money you are, but I'm doing the same thing. And if you have DDS support, you're doing the same thing I'm doing. If you're using Serato Scratch Live, or Track to Scratch Live, or any of those types of softwares, you are doing the same thing I'm doing. And to hate on a kid that's a bedroom DJ, or a basement DJ, because they're learning how to DJ and they love what they see. They look up to people that have been doing it for years, and you're hating on them because you did it your way. You're missing the point. Granted, I was not always a DJ. I've been a producer for a lot longer than I've been a DJ. And I understand the difference between production and mixing. But I know one thing. That I do this because I love it. I produce because I love writing music. And I mix because I love music. And if somebody loves music and loves mixing or loves producing, and they use any method they can to do so, I ain't gonna hate on them. I'm sorry. I'm no better than anybody else. And my methods of learning are no better than theirs. And if they can afford a Mixtrack Pro, or they can afford a Mixmeister setup, that's great. Because they're going to start doing something that they love, and they're going to get into that music, and who knows what could happen because of that. In fact, one of the biggest DJs in the country right now, Skrillex, now hate him or love him, he mixes an entire set using Ableton Live and a trigger finger. That's one single unit that costs maybe $150, and he's making a ton of music, and he's selling out a lot of shows. So remember this: if you love techno music and you love spinning it and you love playing it, remember you had to start somewhere, whether it be vinyl, CDJs, or a controller. Don't hate on people because they're using a different medium than you. Because if they're doing it because they love it, then that's awesome. Peace.